Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. A bit of an impromptu start there. Usually I have the wee countdown, 30, 29, 20, the wee countdown to set us up. I don't have that this morning. I've just jumped right into it. We're just getting straight into it. It's the Europa League group stage draw this morning. I may be joined, and I'll have to repeat this later when more people join the stream, but I may be joined later by a Mr. Ryan McGinley. But right now, it's just myself. Oh, there he is down there. Oh, I'm not joined by Ryan McGinley. Hello, mate. How you doing?
We bit worse for wear this morning.
Oh, mate, I'm the exact same. I don't know how I'm managing to do this right now. Right now, my head is an absolute cloud. I have nothing in between my ears. I'm just gone. But somehow I've put on the earphones, I've turned on the microphone, and I'm ready to go. And I hope you're the same.
Yeah, I'm absolutely the same. Just happy to be through. We've done it the hard way, as always.
As usual. Yep.
But we're through. You kind of froze there, but you're fine now. We're through, and it doesn't really matter how we get. I mean, it'd be nice to get a favourable draw, but at the same time, we're here. And let's make a good go of it.
Well, I'm going to open up. I don't know if it'll let me do this. Hopefully it does. I'm going to open up the draw on screen, and that will be there for us to follow as the thing kind of happens. I think there's a way that I can just kind of turn that around and have us both there, and I can play about with it. But we'll have the draw on screen hopefully, so that you guys can follow along. I'm going to be watching it as well, so that I actually have a live stream for it. Ryan, is the Conference League draw today as well?
I'm not sure. I think it might be after this.
Well, okay, doesn't matter anyway. We're here for our draw, and we're here for the Europa League. So, while we wait and we sit and prepare, you know what these draws are like, Ryan. You know that they can be very tedious, they're very drawn out, and it's just a kind of event that they like to make out of it that doesn't have to be as long and as necessary. So we are going to be waiting quite a while probably for Celtic to actually be pulled out the pot. Until then, let's talk about last night. I've already done my sort of match review. I'll put the quotation marks around that. I've already done my match review from last night. What did you make of Celtic last night? You've already touched on we did it the hard way. I thought there was a lot of kind of aspects of the performance that show we do have a way to go. But ultimately, there was a perseverance there, and we managed to make it through to the group stages of the Europa League.
I think we've seen in this tie this very different sort of performance to what we've been doing in the league so far. There was a lot of heart in that second half performance. We played so well in the first half for 6 minutes, and then two of probably the most self-inflicted goals you'll ever see from a Celtic team, and that's taken some beating, by the way, because we've scored some amount of howlers, or we've allowed some amount of howlers into our goal, but those ones were even worse. That it just, for the first goal, it just hits off Welsh, and then Joe Hart just goes into screensaver mode, and just allows the ball to get taken off, and then Starfelt with the worst own goal I think I've ever seen, tries to go with his right foot. Well, it is a bad.
Oh, it's a bad own goal. It's a bad own goal. I don't know if I'd say it's the worst I've ever seen. I have seen some pretty bad.
One of the worst at Celtic.
Ah, right. Well, yes, I would probably have to agree with that.
In terms of Celtic, but do you know they persevered? Hart and Starfelt had better second halves again, which was good. It was good to see Edward come on and sort of change the game. He held the ball up well. Montgomery came on, obviously for Taylor, and he was really hard working throughout the game. And we did ride our luck a wee bit in the tie, but at the same time, you've got to do that in Europe, and we're through, so I can't really complain.
Well, I'll be bringing up comments. I'm seeing a lot of them piling in, and thank you to everybody who's tuning into our stream so far as we currently just await the beginning of the draw. I see a lot of comments coming in, and don't worry, we will pull up some on screen and we will get you guys involved. If you've been a long time viewer of the channel, you'll know that I do this every single year, and usually I just do it myself. For the first time ever, I've actually got somebody alongside me on the Europa League or the Champions League or whatever draw stream. So it does make it a bit more entertaining than me trying to somehow waddle through half an hour of utter shite. So, thanks very much for that, Ryan, and thanks to everybody in the comments. But there's one big question. I mean, Lewis Layer's chipped in there. Lewis, a great guy, of course. Don't think AZ had too many clear-cut chances apart from the sitter they missed. Feels 10 times worse with the pressure we had on us at the time. It did feel like the game was exclusively played within the half of Celtic throughout the game. They were piling on that pressure, and I think Lewis is right in saying they didn't create too many clear-cut chances. They did have a couple, don't get me wrong, but it certainly just felt worse for the amount of time that they spent in our half, Ryan.
It was like Beersheba all over again. Even the fact that AZ Alkmaar played in red, it made it feel like Beersheba. Backs to the wall, sort of without AZ Alkmaar having that many chances. It was just pressure and pressure and pressure. But I thought we'd done well to deal with most of it, especially in the second half. I'm trying to think back to the game because I spent the majority of the game like watching it through my fingers basically, or through my hands, because it was one of those ones that was just so nervy to watch. But the longer the game was going on, the less I was like, Alkmaar aren't going to score here, but I just need to calm down. I need to calm down. And that was the case. Towards the end of the match, we sort of just allowed the game to peter out, which was great. And we got through. So, you know, it's one of those games you can look back on and be like, oh, that was a nightmare to watch. But you know what? We still get through the tie at the end of the day. And that shows that we've got a wee bit of character and perseverance about us. So Absolutely. I'll take that.
Absolutely. I think the draw is not long now away from starting. So there was a question that I did want to bring up on screen that I have now lost. I don't see on the comments anymore there to bring up. So I'm going to have to just switch the conversation very quickly to what is our ideal draw, Mr. McGinley. Now I'm going to come up on screen now with a different file so that we can have a look at all the pots and we can share with each other the possibilities of who we can play just to make us a bit more interactive, you know. So if I go over here, I should be able to bring up, should be there we go, there it is the Europa League group stage pots as we await the beginning of the draw. Pot 1, a few big boys in there, Ryan. We've got Lazio, who we of course overcame a couple of years ago on home and away. We've got Lyon, Moussa Dembele's side. We've got Napoli, who are a very good side. Bayer Leverkusen, a few big boys. Pot 2, we're in there. Rangers are also in there. Brendan Rodgers, Leicester in there. It doesn't really matter who's in pot 2 because we're not going to draw any of them. Pot 3, Marseille, who were involved in Bust Up of the Year not long ago. They're in there, along with the likes of David Moyes' West Ham, Spartak Moscow, Real Betis, some decent sides in there too. Real Sociedad as well, another really good side. And then in pot 4, a couple of big hitters and a couple of familiar faces, Ryan. You've got Ferencvaros in there. They've got Midtjylland, who we didn't play long ago either. And a couple other faces that we have played in the past, the likes of Galatasaray.
We've played about half of them. We've played about half of them in Europe.
So there is some teams in there that we should be able to overcome as we have in the past. But let's talk about the group that we want, Ryan, with these here. And I hope everybody is getting involved in the chat. I can see people putting in what they'd like already. I don't know about you, Ryan. I've never spoke to you in one of these group stage draw occasions. But for me, fuck glamour ties. I don't care who comes to Celtic Park, Ryan. I don't care who comes to Celtic Park. Give me the easiest draw in any group stage we can ever have. The Champions League, I don't care about seeing Messi. I don't care about seeing Ronaldo. I care about Celtic winning. And I want us to get the easiest draw possible. I don't know what your thoughts on that. I feel like you're the sort of guy that wants the glamour.
I mean, I've said to my pal that we're already going on a away day this season, this group stage. So I'm hoping we have at least one. Well, that doesn't really matter about what team you get as long as it's a good location. I would take some good locations and some locations that are good for travel as well. Do you know, I want to go through as well though, so I kind of want a half and half. Like if we have 2 alright teams and 3 and 4, and then a Leverkusen in pot 1, I'd be quite happy with that. Because it's a glamour tie at the end of the day. I know you don't like them, but
do you know what I just realised? I just realised that the original screen that I had up had the pots there anyway. I've brought up this graphic when the screen already had up actually had the teams in their pots, so it was a bit pointless with changing screen. But what were you saying there, Ryan?
Nice,
sorry,
though. It looks nice.
It does look nice.
Do you know what we need to? It's time to meet Jeremy Frimpong. Let's get Leverkusen at Celtic Park.
Wow.
That'd be a great tie. Home and away, obviously different games, not related. I'm talking absolute pish again. No, actually, looking at the teams that we could get, you're kind of wanting Zagreb from pot 1, I think, because they get put out by Sheriff. Looking at pot 3,
probably still beat us right enough, but they got put out a Sheriff.
True. You're wanting Ludogorets in pot 3, I would say. if you're looking at all of those teams in terms of their chances. You could meet Jordan Larson with Spartak Moscow, which would be fun. Pot 4 is basically, I think we could beat any team in pot 4 if you're looking at it. It's one of those groups that whatever team we get, we should be expecting to beat home and away. But I give us any of them. We'll see what happens, I guess, when the draw comes out. But I'm not as against Glamourtise as you are.
No, I'm absolutely against them. I think you're not wanting by Leverkusen, to be quite honest. I think they would absolutely throw us about, and I'm not a big fan of that.
Can't be that good if they've got Frimpong in there. No, I'm only joking.
Oh wow, that's a £10 million right back, Ryan. Watch what you're saying. For me, if I was to pick the teams that I would want, if I was to go through the group that I would like, it would be Dynamo Zagreb from pot 1. From pot 2, I want a good away day. And I don't want Glamourtise, but I want a good away day. And I tell you,
getting pot 2 because we're in pot 2.
Sorry, pot 3. I meant to say pot 3. Shut up, Ryan. Pot 3. I don't want Glamourtise, but what I do want is a good holiday. And do you know what?
Yeah,
I'm fancying a wee trip down to Sociedad, down to San Sebastian. Yeah. I'm fancying a wee trip down there. I like a wee journey to Spain. I'm missing it. So I'm wanting Dynamo Zagreb, Real Sociedad, and then from pot 4. Do you know what? Give me Midtjylland again. I think we're in a position where we could beat them.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd take Midtjylland again.
Especially at home, we could take a couple off of Midtjylland because we're a different team than when we played them.
Yep. I think so. I think that we've improved. Look, we went into both games in a position where we should have won the game, Ryan, and that was without the added quality we now have and hopefully will add over the next week. We've not even touched on Liam Scales signing today yet, but hopefully, all of that together with the new squad and everything is good enough to beat the likes of Midtjylland if we take them on again. So I'd take Midtjylland from pot 4.
Yeah, definitely. Although there's a few teams you would take from pot 4, I would say as well. Warsaw is always an interesting one. You don't really know where Warsaw are in terms of their teams because sometimes they're really good and sometimes they don't look as good. So it's just your luck with what position they're in. But we'll see what happens. There's plenty of teams that we can beat. I know we'd prefer to be in the Champions League, but at the same time, it's a good level to play at.
I really want a trip to Spain, Ryan. I really do. I'm choking to go back.
You're wanting your holiday?
Spain. Yes, I'm wanting a holiday. I've been fucking pumped out of Maga twice. That not in that context because I wish I was. But I mean, I've been screwed out of Maga a couple of times. I've not been able to go and so I just take a couple of days away over in Spain, to be quite honest. Marcos Senna is about to come out. I've got a couple of the old Villarreal stars on screen, and
that was actually my first European game. Celtic
Same. We figured this out. Both of our first ever European games was the same game. Villarreal and Marcos Senna. I was playing that night. It's mad. That's crazy. It's crazy that our first European game was the same game.
Bit of a trailblazer as well. Was he not the first black player to play for Spain as well?
I think so. He was a Euro 2008 winner, of course. Won the trophy. I think he scored against Celtic. Did they not? In the away leg that we played. I think that he played.
No, I can't remember.
I think he did. Anyway, listen, they've got them out on. Look at his style, man. I love the specs, Marcos. Brilliant. Love that. The draw isn't far away from commencing now. I'm seeing a lot of comments come in. Throw up anything you want on screen. A couple of people enjoying my joke about Magaluf there. Trust me, it was a joke. It was a joke. Christ, if it was real, fuck me. So we're just waiting now for the draw to start. I don't think it is far away from starting now. I believe after the interview, Marcus Senna. Look, he scored a free kick. I was right, Sean. He did. He scored a free kick. So the draw should be commencing in a minute now. Get any questions you want. And Ryan, before the draw starts, Liam Scales signs this morning. He's now a Celtic player. Happy with the addition to the squad?
Yes, I'm happy, but I'm also happy with how early they done it, because if they weren't going to go and sign anyone else, then they would have probably held this off for a couple of days to sort of fill in the space. It's the start. I still think we're going to get 3 or 4 signings in the door from now until the end of the window. We'll still utilise the loan market, I feel, for maybe some backup at centre half. Ideally, I want us to. No, I'm not going to talk about Lovric again. I talk about him every stream. I'm like
I
I
don't
don't know. I'm like a parrot. I'm like a parrot repeating itself with Lovric. But he would be my ideal signing. I do still think we need a left winger.
Last
That,
night was fun. Last night
was
was fun, wasn't it? Your spaces last night. That was a good laugh.
that was the that was the funniest thing ever.
But
Honestly,
the Wilfred and Diddy's.
mm.
I don't. You could tell
Take
that.
him at Celtic now.
You could tell that I had one too many last night when I started
Yeah.
that. You could just tell. But I enjoyed that last night.
You started defending Eddie Howe quite ferociously on that as
I
well.
did. I remember I heard somebody going for him, and do you know what I thought to myself? I'm going to defend wee Eddie here. And I don't know why I did, because fuck him. But, you know, it is what it is. It's over now. But,
Yep.
you know, beautiful human beings. Wilfred and Diddy's, you know, beautiful. I'm not going to start again. Not going to start. I'm too hungover for that. But the draw is, oh, there he is. I love him. Big Claudio Ranieri. It's a highlight every single year when he comes out on stage. What's his name? Giorgio Marchetti. The UEFA Deputy General Secretary. He's my favourite man in football, Ryan. You've got to love him. He's iconic, this man.
I liked the Scottish guy until he died. Obviously they're wheeling this guy's out. Is this the guy that looks a wee bit like Claudio Ranieri?
Yeah, you know exactly who it is. He's the best part of these draws. He's the best part of it. I don't come to watch Celtic be drawn. I come to watch Giorgio Marchetti. That's what I come to watch.
Yeah, I mean, whatever suits you. I mean, 11 o'clock, you're watching a UEFA conference or a draw rather. He's a bit of a legend. I remember seeing I seen a tweet yesterday. It was like lockdown won't last this long, and then it was like lockdown with his face.
Aye, that's right. That's right. Oh, I absolutely love him. I absolutely love Giorgio Marchetti. I don't know why. I don't even know anything about him. He could be an utter cunt for all I know. But he's just iconic.
Could be a fascist. Could be a fascist, bro. You know?
He could be, but do you know what? I don't care, because he's the most iconic man in football. I just absolutely love him. I'm putting up a tweet about that right now. The most iconic man in football. Has to be done.
Respect.
Right. The rules are being shown for the draw. If you've got anything you want me and Ryan to address, get it in just now. Send us your questions as they run through the final sort of preparations now. I hate this part of the draw, Dime, where they tell you the instructions are like, right, we all watch football. We know what the fucking rules are. We can't play them and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So okay, question from, is that pronounced Dermot? I'm not sure. Anyway, opinions on the lack of McCarthy's appearances. Are you concerned so far about the injuries that McCarthy has picked up, Ryan?
It's to be expected, isn't it? We've known about McCarthy's injuries. It is a wee bit concerning, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's still early doors for McCarthy. I'm hoping it's just something light and he can come back. Maybe get a subs appearance against Rangers. If not, he can work on his fitness and sort of status for the next 2 weeks. Or I don't even know how long the international break is. Is it a week and a half, 2 weeks?
Yeah, they will be playing for another fortnight after the Rangers game.
Could be beneficial to him to sort of stay in training and sort of get ready for the next round of fixtures, because it's going to be tough having Europe and then domestically as well as the cups.
Well, I want to ask a question, Ryan. It's very off topic, just because I see Lee saying this, and Matthew Duff has managed to clip me. that has been clipped already. Well, fair play, Matthew. I hate you. Fair play, though. It's quite funny. I like that. But Lee's brought up something. The draw is about to start. So to the over 500 viewers at the moment, thank you very much. We will be underway in probably the next minute. I think the draw will commence in the pot one side. So don't worry. Don't go away. We'll be here. We'll be giving our live reaction. But Lee has raised a point that is completely off topic from the conversation we were having, Ryan. And he's saying the severe lack of Rod Stewart at this draw. If you could have anybody in the world do the draw, anybody, any celebrity at all, who would be doing your Europa League draw today?
And let me know because it would be absolute madness.
I mean, come on. The man is a legend. And you're mocking him like that.
I'm not mocking him. I'm just saying that would be the organisers' fault for having Stevie Wonder.
Is somebody going to have to, guide his hand into the pot?
We would somehow make it into pot 2 again. I don't know how.
Oh
We
God,
would,
Callum.
we would make it into a different pot. Pot. I don't even know what I'm talking about here.
Callum Craig's asking how's the head today, and you've just answered it there. I'm going to fire through some of the answers. We've got Tony saying Dua Lipa. We've got PJW saying Beetlejuice. I'm imagining it means we Beetlejuice. You know, the wee I Bobo
Yeah.
Baldi. Liam says Neil Lennon. So there's his pick. Haley Williams. I mean, a popular amongst the Celtic faithful at this point. Margot Robbie. Well, no Margot Robbie. Margaret Robbie.
Is that her mum?
Jerry Adams, Becky Hill, a good one. Wilfred Ndidi, of course. Paolo Nutini. There's a couple that I can't bring up.
I know.
Margaret Thatcher, Kanye West, Tyson Fury, Hezbollah. A couple of people saying Hezbollah. Tommy Sheridan, Big John Fury. I think if I was to pick anybody in the entire world, it would be, I'd get Peter Kay, but I'd get him to come out in character. I'd get him to come out as one of the I'd get Max and Paddy to do it. That'd be my draw. I think that'd be a good laugh.
Do you know, I've never watched Max and Paddy. I need to check that out.
I've started Phoenix Nights, and here we go. Right, lads, we can get back on track. The Europa League draw is underway. Ryan, have you got your live stream on and working?
I'm watching your stream now.
Oh, you're just watching through this? Are you watching through this?
Yeah.
I don't know how far behind that this thing usually reacts, by the way. I'll warn you. Like, the thing that I've got on screen, it is usually behind. So the first team out has been done. There you go. It's coming up on screen. Leon is in Group A. It's pretty in sync, actually. I'm getting it through this as I'm getting it through the live stream itself. So we are underway. And maybe the final one I'll bring up the screen, Ryan. How would you like Blake Young doing it?
Wow. That is just something I don't need to see. It would be too focused. It'd be too focused on other things to be doing a draw.
So Leon are first out. Would you fancy a trip to Leon? Would you fancy meeting up with the man himself, my king, my favourite, my idol in life, Moussa Dembele?
No.
No.
I do not want to see Moussa. Moussa can stay at Leon for all I care. I don't want him to be breaking my heart.
You don't know what would break your heart. Well, you know, we can sort that. We can turn up to Celtic Park. We can ask the DJ to throw on some Elton John. We all in unison sing "Don't Go Breaking My Heart." 60,000 of us in one voice.
Are you watching the stream through like a live, like a video, or are you just watching it through the? I'm watching it
on YouTube as well. I've got it on two screens.
Is it on YouTube?
Yep, it's on YouTube. BT
right,
Sport.
I'll put it on. Is it?
BT Sport are showing it. They are coming out. You know, the teams are coming out now. One thing we haven't touched on, Ryan, actually, that is significant about this year's Europa League is the dramatic reduction in teams. It's a much smaller competition now. Obviously, that's to kind of make way for the Conference League coming in. I must admit, I'm a massive, massive fan of this, you know, now 32 team layout. I hated having was it 48 last few years? You know, 48 teams was a bit excessive in my eyes. It made the competition a little bit of a drag. 32 teams, and I know it kind of changes as well when we get into the last 16 with the drop downs from the Champions League. But for me, I'm a big fan of this changing of the numbers. Yeah,
me too. It sort of adds to the prestige of the tournament. I think it cuts away around, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It means that there's better teams in this competition. It adds the sort of it increases the quality of this tournament.
Look at this man sitting in his phone. Sorry, on you go.
And it gives these smaller teams a chance to do better in the Conference League because they'll be playing at a lower level. That sounds terrible, but they'll improve by playing similar teams, I'd say, and they'll get through further than obviously the teams that they would have been playing against in the Europa League. So I'm glad there's the free competitions. We used to have free competitions. I remember there was Inter Total Cup. But,
yep, that's right.
It's good to have this back.
Jake's asked a good question in the chat. Who is there representing Celtic today? Is it Big Peter Law? Is it Don Mackay? Who's there representing the club? Do we know?
I don't know. Probably Bankier. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see when it comes up on screen. Right, pot 1 is finished, Ryan. We see what we want there and what we want to avoid. Pot 2 is about to begin. Ryan, who you wanting there? What group? We'll read a letter out. What you wanting? I'm wanting Group H. Group H for me.
H, F, or D.
H, F, or D. Yep, I'd agree. I'd like to avoid any of the other ones. Do you know
No
what
way.
though?
Did Rangers get Group A?
Are they out? Are Rangers out? Are they getting Moussa Dembele? No way. Are they? Ah! Moussa Dembele! No
Right,
fucking
actually,
way.
turn off the comments because we don't want it spoiled.
Right, okay,
Got
right.
a
Well, you can. But I need to tweet Moussa right now. I need to do it. You know what has to be done. Oh, you know what has to be done. What a draw that is for Rangers, by the way. I mean, Big Moussa, you know he's got to love that. He's got to love that.
He'll
But
be
listen,
licking his lips.
he will be licking his lips. He'll be like that meme of what's his name? The guy from he's rubbing his hands. Out next, PSV Eindhoven. They take on Monaco in Group B. So right now it's Leon. It's Moussa Dembele away to terrorise Rangers. It's Monaco against PSV. I think both sides will fancy their chances against each other in that group. Ryan, Monaco in a bit of a little slip. PSV, a team that probably wants to challenge themselves against the big dogs. Group C. Oh, that's tasty. That is tasty. Brendan Rodgers will be heading to the city of Naples, the city of Diego Maradona. That's a big tie. That a big test for Leicester as Brendan Rodgers needs to prove doubters wrong this season, right?
Yep, definitely. That's already looking like an incredible group. Those two teams, very, very tasty. But it's look at that 3 good groups already. When you look at those two teams, you can see the standards improved.
Yep, it definitely has. The Europa League standard is going up every single year. Out next, it's Lokomotiv Moscow. They'll be heading into Group E for whatever reason. I'm not too sure how the rules go in terms of like how they have to skip a group and blah, blah, blah. So they're into Group E. They'll be taking on Lazio, which what?
Give us Group F then.
Oh, give us Group F, right? I thought you were saying that was us in Group F. I was like, Christ, you're ahead of me. Lokomotiv Moscow take on Lazio. It means we won't be heading back to Rome to try and repeat the feats of 2019. Eintracht Frankfurt out next, taking on Olympiacos. So, looking at the last 3 groups, Ryan, if you avoid Leverkusen, I'm pretty happy with that. But there is a 1 in 3 chance we will end up with.
We're getting Leverkusen.
Don't jinx it, man. Don't fucking jinx it. So it's either Leverkusen or a win in my eyes. I think we can beat both Braga and Dynamo Zagreb. So hopefully we're not getting Leverkusen here, Ryan. If we do, I'm blaming you because you said you'd like the Braga. We'll be taking on Red Star Belgrade, isn't it? Is that who that is?
I think it's us.
Is it? No, sorry. That's the Red Star Belgrade, is it? It is. It's Red Star, isn't it? That is Red Star, isn't it? I'm right in saying that. Serbian, it's in the Serbian writing.
This is a minute behind.
Is it?
So I already know who we're getting.
Oh, no, it's not, is it?
It is.
Oh,
we're booking Germany, boys.
Well, do you know what? I'm choking for a tip. Jesus fuck.
Wow.
There was a 1 in 3 chance there. There was 3 teams left and they had to give us fucking Leverkusen. A tough gig. Of course, a big fan of the Bundesliga myself. And I know the threats that Bayer Leverkusen possess, Ryan. A club that, is going through a little bit of a transition. They've got a new manager, but they've got players in that side that are going to make it difficult. We're going to meet up with Jeremy Frimpong.
That'll be the game to watch in that match day.
Yep.
Because it'll just be all attack for both teams.
We're going to be meeting up with Jeremy Frimpong, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Lucas Radesky in goals, a tough goalkeeper to beat, Jonathan Tah, Charles Aringuez, all these names, Moussa Diaby, Paulinho, Patrick Schick, who terrorised Scotland. We are meeting up with so many names as I watch on the draw here. We're meeting up with so many names, but we are good enough to beat them.
Yeah.
We're good enough to beat them.
I mean, we will be in a better position once we play them. We'll be more used to the way Ange plays. I know I was saying that. We've seen that back when we were playing Midtjylland, but we will be in a better place. We'll have the reinforcements in. Getting that sort of draw will reinforce it to the board that we need reinforcements, I think.
Yep.
So
I think everybody at the club, and obviously the manager is the one who knows it the most. He's been saying he's not had away from it. I think everybody at the club should realise, this is a draw that needs money to be spent this week. They can't ignore that. They can't expect us to head to over to the Bayer Arena in Germany and expect to compete when we've not got the reinforcement there, right?
Yeah, definitely. It just shows you get a big team like Leverkusen. I think that should force the board into getting some good signings in.
A tough one for Rangers, by the way. A very tough one for Rangers. Olympique Marseille. Sorry, no, not Olympique Marseille. What am I talking about? Talking shite. I've already got Leon. Sparta Prague. A tough one. Because I seen Marseille up on screen there. Sparta Prague heading into Rangers group. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. We know exactly the sort
really
of
good
challenge
really good away days for them.
Yeah, it is. Sparta Prague against Rangers. They'll be interesting to see. But, I mean, Celtic now in a position where hopefully we get a bit of an easier team. Real Sociedad's gone. They've been drawn out. Prague's been drawn out. Marseille.
What a group that is.
I think that, it is some group. But one thing that I'm going to highlight so far is 3 of the kind of bigger hitters are gone from pot C in my eyes. I think there were 3 of the tougher sides. So I'm quite happy about that thus far.
You see, the funny thing is for that Leverkusen draw, I seen it about a minute before it came out. My pal just messaged me saying yes. So I was like, and we were talking about Leverkusen last night. I was like, I would love that away day. So I kind of knew we were getting them. He quickly followed up with Leverkusen in capital letters. So
you knew exactly what here.
Spartak Moscow away as well.
Spartak Moscow into Napoli in Leicester's group. That's proven to be a tough test for Brendan Rodgers. A very tough test. Fenerbahce out next. They've been drawn with Olympiacos and Frankfurt, which means there's only
what teams are left?
3 teams remaining in Pot C. Ryan, Real Betis, West Ham. Could we be drawing the Hammers? Could we get David Moyes' West Ham? I mean, I would love a wee trip down to London to prove those bastards wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see. Well, granted, they beat us 6-2 in pre-season, so I don't want to play them again. Ludogorets out next, which means there's 2 teams left. It's going to be Real Betis or it's going to be West Ham. We're getting...
Wow.
It's one of the big boys. Is it going to be the Hammers? Are we finally getting another English team in European competition? I've been waiting for it.
Bring it on.
We up our game against English sides. I wouldn't mind West Ham. I wouldn't mind it. Is it? It is. It's Real Betis of Spain. We're getting our holiday to Spain. Oh, we're all on our way to sunny Spain. Viva España. Sorry.
This group's beautiful already in terms of away days.
Mate, I'm telling you, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucked. I wanted to avoid the top groups. And there's West Ham.
It's all right. We're in it.
We're in it to win it, mate. You've got to be the best. You got to beat the best.
True.
So we're going to have to face these teams at some point in the competition. Great. Take it away from me, Ryan. I'm going to go.
While Ryan dies in the background, Group G looks great. Leverkusen, Celtic, Betis, or Betis, as Ryan says. I don't really know the proper pronunciation of that, but it's 2 very difficult games, but it's teams that we could take at home, and you never know that away from home, at least there'll be good away days, I would say. If we're not going to get anything else, and we'll get a good holiday out of it. Leverkusen, I've never been to Germany before, and I've never actually been to mainland Spain as well. So the 2 games I want to go to.
You've never been to mainland Spain?
No, I've not. I don't think you are either. I don't think you'll be back.
I think I'm away. I don't know what I'm there. The fucking hell, I went in a meltdown. I might be out of isolation, I don't like that. Here we go. Galatasaray is the first team out in the Group D's, or the Pot D's, sorry. They'll be joining Lazio, Lokomotiv Moscow, Marseille, and of course themselves there. Ryan, who are you fancying then from Pot 4? Who are you wanting? Midtjylland. We need 6 points. You get a side.
Yeah.
You know what? You get a side that presents you the opportunity of 6 points. Very, very decent chance of heading through to the last 16, I think.
If you get the last 16 of the Conference League, maybe. The only good thing is we've got 2 good teams in Betis and Leverkusen will take points off each other as well, which can present opportunities.
Rangers getting Brøndby in their draw. A favourable tie, I would say. Brøndby is a team that are Rangers are very capable of beating. I think they'll be happy with that.
They were the team with the lowest coefficient, I believe, out of every team. They were in single figures with their coefficient.
Well, hopefully they present something to Rangers. Hopefully it does make life a bit difficult for them. But you know what? We're waiting to see what you get. Joining Monaco, it's Sturm Graz who join Monaco, PSV and Real Sociedad. Look, to be honest, I'm happy to see the likes of, well, I say I'm happy to see Galatasaray away when St Johnstone gave them a challenge, but it is good to see some of the bigger names get out first. You know, you like to see your Galatasarays out there first and leaving us with the teams that are lesser than that. But, you know, it's still going to be a challenge whoever we play anyway. At the end of the day, it is the Europa League. A lot of people saying Ferencváros in the chat line. Would you like to visit them again?
Hungary's a bit of a dodgy away day. And dodgy for the team coming back, obviously, to play on a Sunday. Oh, there's Midtjylland away. Group F.
That's a sin.
But Ferencváros, they would be a favourable team, I would say, to play against.
Yeah, they would be a favourable side to play against. And once again, I think we've grown from when we lost to Ferencváros back in, of course, 2020. It was 2020. I think we've grown from then. So I wouldn't mind getting them for the people who are suggesting in the chat. Next team out the pot. Who's it going to be? Marcus Senna opens his balls, and here comes Legia Warsaw. They're next out, the former side of new Celtic Josip Juranovic. So they're gone. Yep. He won't be reunited. Imagine that. I didn't even consider that he could have been playing against his old type. We could have been welcoming Artur Boric back to Celtic Park, but sadly that's not the opportunity. And that rounds off what's a very impressive Group C, Ryan.
Yeah, very much so. Every game will be worth watching, or sort of even watching the highlights. There's definitely going to be goals there. Napoli-Leicester is definitely a tie that will excite the neutrals, I would say. There's Antwerp going away in Group D. Could have been a sort of reunion with Buta.
Yes, it could have been actually. Yes. 2 teams left though in pot D. I believe we're left with Ferencváros and who else is Rapid Vienna. And those are the 2 teams I think left. So Celtic are going to get one of those sides. I think I'd rather Ferencváros if I was to pick, Ryan.
I'd rather Rapid Vienna.
Would you? Well, out next is Ferencváros, and that's who Celtic will be playing. Celtic will be heading to face the old enemy, you could say, in Ferencváros after their defeat to them in early.
They don't look happy about it.
They don't, but I think that's just their neutral faces. But there you go. That's it. Celtic's group for the Europa League 2021-22 is set. It's going to be Bayer Leverkusen, Celtic, Real Betis, and Ferencváros. That is our group, Ryan. And what's your instant reaction?
It's tough. It is a tough group. It is really tough. But do you know what? You've got to be in it to win it. You get Leverkusen and Betis that are great away days. You get Ferencváros. Hopefully they get 6 points out of 6 against them. See how we can do against the 2 big boys in the group. Well, I mean, I would say we're one of the big boys in the group as well.
Well, we're the biggest boy in the group.
Yeah, in terms of history, I would say the 3. Definitely. But in terms of the current quality of the teams, Leverkusen are probably the best team in the group, I would say, just about. So we can take any team at home, and we'll see how we do away from home. It could have been worse. Let's put it that way. It could have been worse. Yes, it could have been a lot easier, but at the same time, it could have been worse.
I think looking at it from the selfish fan point of view, I'm buzzing of the prospect of maybe, obviously depending on the situation with travel and restrictions and isolation and all the rest of it. I love the prospect of a trip to Germany. I love the prospect of a trip to Spain. So from a selfish fan point of view, bring that on. I'm buzzing for the idea of a couple of away games, especially to very good destinations. Germany, I'd love to go over there and experience that. The first thing I know Kieran Auld will be doing right now, he'll be on his phone and he'll be looking up what the fan allocations are at these stadiums. He'll be looking at how much they give away for European games, how many tickets, and how likely it will be for us to be in the stadiums for those games, because it's all very well and good going to an away trip, but we've done it. We've went on an away trip and we didn't get into the game. We didn't get into Valencia. And it just wasn't the same on the day watching it in a pub. It was still great. We still will have plenty of Celtic fans who also went at the game. But you really want to be in the ground for it, you know what I mean? You really want to, like, Lazio was completely a hit different because we were in the ground, and hopefully these are teams that present the opportunity for Celtic to be in the ground.
Yeah, definitely. I know Germany are sort of, they've not got full capacity, that's for sure, in their grounds. You've seen that in the opening Bundesliga games. But we'll see how the situation sort of materialises over the next couple of weeks and months. Hopefully, that's great that Lewis is saying that. It gives us a wee bit of time to prepare.
Yeah, I'd like to see what order we play in. So, big question, Ryan, with the over 800 viewers we have right now, unbelievable numbers. Thank you very much, lads. It is very much appreciated. When we look at the groups there, and we look at our group in particular, how many points you fancy, if you were to put a magic number on it right now, how many points you fancying Celtic to get?
8.
8. Respectable. Is 8 enough to get us through?
8 or 9.
8 or 9.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be one of the highest scoring, not the highest sort of points groups out of there. I think you're looking at 6 points won't be enough in this group. You're going to need to take something off of Leverkusen and Betis, I would say. But we can beat any of those teams at home. I'm just hoping we beat Ferencváros home and away. That'd be 6 points. See, if we win all our games at home, we should go through. So if you look at it from that standpoint, I mean, 9 points. How many times has 9 points not been enough to get through in a group? Hardly ever. We'll see. But do you know what? We're up to the challenge. Ange's got us believing again. Let's see where we go with it.
That sounded like you were going to break into a wee bit of fucking what they called there. Ange's got us believing again. I was just thinking, like, you can make me whole again. I was thinking we were going to break into some song or something there when you were saying that. But listen, I'm happy with the group. Do you know what though? I really wish we got West Ham. I'm gutted we never got West Ham there. I had my heart set on it because we always raise our game against the English sides. It's like we always want to prove the bastards wrong. We always want to prove people like Steve Thompson wrong. But sadly, we just avoided them. But you know, there's always a chance we head through to the last 16 and we play a Leicester or a West Ham or a drop down from the Champions League. So, you know, it's not completely out the window yet. So yeah, I'm happy with the draw, Ryan. I'll take it. I think it could have been, as you said, a lot worse. It could have been better, but I think that we've got teams at the right sort of time. I think that it's going to sound ridiculous because they're such a good side, but I think that we've timed it right to play the likes of a Leverkusen. They are going to be difficult, and I think they probably will beat us. But I think, you know, if we played them, I don't know. I feel like it is a decent time to be up against them.
Aye, especially because they've sold all their best players basically as well. They're going for a rebuild, as you say. They've not got Havertz anymore. They've not got Leon Bailey. He's obviously at Aston Villa. They're going through a transition much like we are, so it should be an entertaining game, both home and away, I would say.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And that's the thing. For entertainment value, our group is certainly one of the best there. I think our Group C is certainly the most entertaining of the two groups in my eyes, right? I don't know, what would you say is the most entertaining group there?
Group B, C, G.
Fuck's sake, Ryan. I said one fucking group.
No, that's. I'm sort of talking about the quality of this tournament. Now you can see that a lot of the. I feel bad saying that a lot of the fodders out of it, but a lot of the smaller teams aren't there, and it does sort of increase the prestige of the tournament. If I was to pick one group, I'd pick Group C.
Yeah, Group C's got to be magic to watch. I think, bar maybe Celtic and Leverkusen, I think that Napoli and Leicester is certainly the game of the competition in the group stages anyway. It's certainly the game of the competition. Brendan Rodgers against, who is it? It's in charge of Napoli now again. What's his face? Forgot his name. It's just slipped my mind.
Was it the former Napoli man? Not the former Napoli manager, the former Lazio manager.
Spalletti. It's Spalletti that's in charge. It's Spalletti that's in charge of Napoli. So Spalletti against Rodgers is going to be an entertaining one. Both good managers, both managers with a sort of point to prove. So I think that'll be one of the best watches in the group stage. Ryan, before we head off the stream, is there anything you would like to say? I'd like to get off your chest before we just round things up, we're at 1,100 viewers, by the way. Thank you very much to everybody who has tuned in as Ryan gives us his closing statement.
Jeremy Frimpong, we're coming for you. Nabil Fekir, we're coming for you. Ferencváros, I don't really know any of your players. I don't know if Nguyen's still there that scored against us, but we're coming for you as well. Let's just go and have a good time.
We're not here to win. We're here to take part.
I don't know how far Conor McGregor would have got in his career if he was coming out with statements like that. Do you know what? We can take anybody at home. Angie's got me believing. Let's see how we do.
Nice, Ryan. That was cute. Well done. Very well said. Yes, Angie's got me believing. That Celtic's group. For the people who may have not heard, it's Bayer Leverkusen, it's Celtic, it's Real Betis, and it's Ferencváros. Hamish Carton, he asked for a Betis last night on Twitter. I seen that this morning on Twitter. He's got his wish. I'll be seeing Mr. Hamish later. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, keep your eye out in this big weekend of content across all of Celtic media. You know, we've got a lot to talk about this weekend. And Ryan, Derby Day on Sunday.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
I mean, I can wait a wee bit, but ask me on Sunday morning, I'll be buzzing.
Buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Lads, thanks very much for coming out and tuning in to our live stream for the Europa League group stage draw. We'll be back for the podcast on Monday. And yeah, we'll be, we were going to do a podcast preview sort of thing that we might get it done tomorrow via Zoom. We'll wait and see what happens. Just depends on time and what we've got to do. But thank you to everybody who has watched on. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as they would say at Celtic Park when they end off some